Representative Mo Brooks believes that Donald Trump should be able to call this whole border crisis a national emergency, and he should be able to fund that border wall. Now, he was recently in the middle of a debate about the issue regarding climate change. So can Democrats pull the same trick if they want to do so in the future? Let's go to video 7 and see what Mo Brooks how he reacts to that question.
Say 5 years from now, there's a hurricane, a vast hurricane, and there's a Democratic president who believes that climate change was involved with the hurricane. Thousands of people die from it. Could that president, he or she, then say he needs a national emergency declaration to get money to fight that?
I'm sorry, that was kind of convoluted the way I heard it. Would you please restate it?
The fact of the matter is that the whole argument is convoluted for a National Emergency Act for wall funding also. What I'm saying is if a president can make the claim that national security money, emergency money is needed for a wall, could a president at one point say it's needed to fight climate change?
I would have to look at the specific statutes to see what you can and cannot do. That is so far out there.
Why? If it's a matter of national security, if it is a matter of national security and the president deems it so, why is it outside the purview of the law?
I don't see how that example that you gave affects the national security of the United States of America.
The Pentagon and the intelligence services often talk about the effect of climate change. I'm making a hypothetical argument here.
In this instance, we're talking about protecting the southern border.
I mean, if you're concerned about mass migration, you should be concerned about climate change because that certainly is a national security threat, and that, as Berman perfectly mentioned there, it is something that's been cited by our Pentagon, by our Defense Department as a national security threat.
So I love that. He's like, no, I want it for my priorities, not Democrats' priorities. Yeah, we know that, but that's not how the law works. Once you set a precedent saying the president can just declare any national emergency he likes and just totally get rid of Congress's ability to spend, and the president takes that power, then you could have a Democratic president who would very legitimately say climate change is a much bigger national emergency. Look, number one, we have the fact that the planet is melting. That's a bit of a global emergency. Number two, we have literal wildfires that are intensified by climate change, hurricanes intensified by climate change that has actually cost so many Americans their lives. Number three is Anna's point. It's actually a double whammy because you get mass migration, which actually makes the southern border even tougher to control. So that would be a terrific argument for a national emergency. But Mo Brooks is a little slow, so he's like, what? What is that? What is the climate change? No, I don't like that one. No, I want the other one. Because that's not a real political argument.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, no, it's not, and it also had multiple parts to it, and I think that's part of the issue. It was a political question, and yes, climate change does create the exact situation that he was in the seat there discussing with respect to immigrants. It absolutely is, I think the fact that he did look so confused is actually positive for the argument that we really should be looking at analyzing and debating things like appropriating for any of these issues rather than having it be one person's opinion.
Exactly.
And one final thing, they keep saying like, oh my God, Trump just went down to the border, right? And he's like, oh, you're not gonna believe it. The things that I found, it's worse than I thought. It's an invasion, everybody. There's less immigrants coming in now than there was decades ago. Substantially less. So if it's a national emergency now, my God, I guess it was twice as big a national emergency earlier. No, people come across the border all the time. You want to stop that? I totally hear you. Let's have a legitimate debate about how to stop it and how to appropriate money in Congress. Oh, that's where we would have the debate. That's right. And then the president can say, yes, I agree, or no, I want to veto it. And that is how the process works in America, where we have a democracy. Like what you see? Click the subscribe button below and don't forget to ring the bell to never miss another video from the Young Turks.